All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome, welcome to this very special edition of Let's Talk. My name is Jan Paxman, and I'm so excited to get to host tonight. I am a certified independent Optavia coach and have been for 15 years. I truly love this program. And you guys, can we just give it up in the chat for our amazing Chris that is always behind the scenes making this thing just rock? Don't you love all the new changes we've made? Oh my goodness. Love him. And how funny that he found that old picture of me. I don't know if you noticed, but he had like a 7-year-old picture of me tonight. And that is exactly when I knew that I would grow up and become a nurse. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. It is so fun. Back in the day, I don't know if you remember, but we used to do doctors and nurses support calls every single week. Throw a 10 up in the chat if you are an OG that remembers the doctors and nurses calls way back in the day. Well, we decided that it was time to bring those back. We're going retro. And I am so excited about this because we have so many healthcare professionals in our family here at Optavia, and we want to involve them and include them because this is all about helping our clients have the very best success that we possibly can. And who better to ask your questions than to a health professional along with your amazing coach. So we're going to just go back a minute in time. Now, I've got this slide that I will share with you that shows the original, some of the OGs of our doctors and nurses calls. And you'll see over here one of the original health coach, Dr. Anderson's wife, Lori. She was the very first health coach, and she was part of a team with us as we formed the nurses calls. And you can see them there. We have Frida Keller, and then Marcia Hildebrand, Lori, and myself are there in that little picture. And tragically, we lost Lori several years ago. And oh my goodness, what a heartbreak that was. But I feel in some way that we carry on her energy, her zeal, her love for this program through these amazing calls that we all come in together. And community is what it's all about. This is so powerful and helpful. And the docs, some of the original docs, you'll see Dr. Joe Pecoraro, a vascular surgeon. Then you'll see down in the bottom right, Dr. Anderson, and then standing next to him is Dr. Mark Nilsson. And then you'll see Greg Cesar, another wonderful doctor, and his wife, Denise. And all of these guys would take turns getting on these calls with us. And it was so awesome. And then we moved into the Zoom era, and things changed up a bit, and we did corporate Zoom calls, and then those kind of went away. And now we do this. We've been doing this for about 6 years on Monday nights, just with this team of a group of coaches that come together, and we share our ideas and thoughts that help support all of us because we're all clients, right? All of us are clients first. And so I love these calls. And tonight we have two very special guests. These are OGs as well. Oh my goodness. First of all, I'd love to introduce to you Dr. Delia D. Garcia. Dr. D and I have been friends for as long as I've been in Optavia. I have looked up to her and have just learned from her for so many years. So she is an oncologist. She's been an oncologist for 30 years, specializing in breast cancer. She also is a whole food, plant-based nutrition and lifestyle coach. She's a mom to three amazing kids. And she said three amazing human beings. I want to say it right. And she also loves gardening, decorating. She is an amazing participant in yoga, and she loves to travel. She's a former associate professor of Washington University. She's the author of more than 40 publications and book chapters. She was chosen by her peers for Best Doctors in America. She's listed in America's top rated physicians. And those three human beings are Alex, Nelsie, and Andrew. And so, Dee, welcome. We're so happy you're here.
Oh, thank you, Jen. I am so excited to be part of this tonight. So thank you.
Oh, you are welcome. We're honored to have you. So I'm excited also to bring up alongside you Dr. Michael Smith, who I've known for probably 11 or 12 years. Amazing human being as well. He is an internal medicine physician who transformed his own issues with autoimmune disease over 10 years ago by getting healthy, and the Optavia program supported him to do this. And by continuing to practice what he learned through Optavia, he's maintained high energy and minimal pain to this day. And you guys, he spent 23 years as chief medical director of WebMD and now serves as chief medical officer of Ascend Medical, his own business. While his passion for helping others led him to become a physician, he feels that he makes an even greater impact today through coaching and guiding others through this program than he did even in his professional practice as a doctor. And I think if you're a healthcare professional and you feel the same way, because I know I do, I have so much more impact through what I do as a health coach than I did in the nursing in my nursing practice. So I am so excited about tonight. So we are going to kick it off with a couple of questions that were sent in. This is just going to be an open forum, just answering questions. And if you guys feel like you've got a question, you can pop it in the chat. We may not be able to get to it, but we're going to keep the chat and we're going to record all the questions we get for future episodes of Let's Talk with the Health Professionals Live. And we're going to do this every last Monday of each month. We'll be doing Health Pros Live. So your questions or questions like yours will be answered. So super excited. And so Dee, I'm going to just get you started right out of the gate because of your background with oncology. We have a question that came in from Pat. And the question is, if a woman is recovering from breast cancer, are the Optavia products containing soy safe for them?
Oh, thank you, Jan. I love, love, love that question. I field questions like that almost every week because of my background in breast cancer. But women who have had a diagnosis of breast cancer absolutely can take soy products. And a lot of our Optavia products are soy-based. It's a great source of plant-based protein. And the reason that women sometimes are worried about their their history of breast cancer and consuming soy products is because of the natural plant hormones in soy. They're called phytoestrogens. And what those phytoestrogens actually do is they can bond to breast cancer, to the receptors of breast cancer cells, and have an effect similar to tamoxifen. So tamoxifen is a hormone drug that is oftentimes prescribed for women with breast cancer, and it helps to lower the risk of recurrence and certainly decrease the risk of distant spread. So those phytoestrogens have an effect similar to tamoxifen. But while we're at it, oh, and also I wanted to mention that there are actually published studies in medical journals showing that women with breast cancer who consume soy have a lower risk of recurrence, and they have a higher survival rates. But I also wanted to mention very briefly about our own body fat. So women who struggle with weight have higher circulating estrogen levels. I describe our body fat as a toxic dump yard. It stores pesticides, herbicides, heavy metals, lead, PCBs, and estrogen. So women who struggle with weight have higher circulating estrogen levels, and that's the precursor for breast cancer. So by decreasing our body fat, by getting rid of it, getting to that healthy weight, we're actually reducing that estrogen dominance and lowering our risk of breast cancer. So thank you for that question.
Fantastic question. Oh my goodness, I love that. I'm just going to throw this out there too, because I learned it from Lori Anderson back in the day. Like you said, Dee, when we are melting those fat cells and that estrogen is released in the bloodstream, once in a while, we're going to get kind of real here. Sometimes women will say, I'm using the program and I'm loving it and I'm in a fat burning state, but I'm spotting a little bit. And that is why. Is that correct, Dee? Because of the estrogen that is working through the system and being released through the system. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. As women lose weight, then that estrogen that's stored in their body fat gets released into the bloodstream, and it can actually stimulate the uterine lining. So there can be some temporary bleeding. Of course, you want to talk with your GYN just in case, because women who struggle with weight also have a higher risk of uterine cancer and ovarian.
Mhm.
But usually it's just temporary from that estrogen being released and stimulating the uterine lining.
Yeah, so good. Love this. Isn't this great? You guys getting all these great questions answered? Oh my goodness. Okay, Michael, I'm gonna throw one over to you. Okay, so let's say you're using the program and you're getting healthier, but you start to notice that your hair might be getting a little thinner. So this is coming in from Barb. She asks, when does your hair start thickening or growing back after weight loss? So let's see what you've got here.
Yeah, it's a great question. So the good thing is that most people don't have hair loss with weight loss. So if you do notice any hair loss, it is temporary. It is associated with weight loss from any program, right? It has nothing to do with Optavia. It's just weight loss from any program. Usually happens, if it's going to happen, after someone loses 25 pounds or more. The great thing is, and why we typically don't see it on this program, is we are nourishing your body in a way to minimize or prevent it. Adequate protein, hydration, vitamins and minerals, like with the essential fuelings are fortified with 24 vitamins and minerals. But if you do notice a little bit of hair loss, and let me tell you, usually you're the only one that notices it, right? It feels like a lot. You're seeing the hair in the shower, but in reality, it's minimal and others aren't going to notice. So I know it can still freak you out when you see all that hair in the shower. So if you're concerned about it, either preventatively or you're starting to notice it, you can take up on some extra B vitamins, B as in boy, B vitamins. Specifically, the B vitamin biotin is one of the best for hair and nails. I even tell some women, if you're worried about it, just take a hair and nail vitamin that you get over the counter. But specifically a biotin supplement. It takes a little bit higher doses to really work. But again, it's temporary hair loss. Your hair will start growing back as even usually women are still losing weight and their hair starts growing back because it's just usually a temporary effect for a couple or 3 months.
Awesome. I love that. And you've got great hair, Michael. Obviously, you have the struggle, but Chris did, but you didn't.
Now, Chris had a serious effect. No, that's genes. This is genes too.
Actually, I'd like to give kudos to Chris because he lost over 100 pounds, but his hair was like that before he lost.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid, people.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Hey, Dee, I noticed something in the chat before we get too far, off of that other subject we were on. Someone was asking about hot flashes and having to do with the soy protein. Does that have any effect on hot flashes?
Actually, it's hot flashes really has to do more with our body weight. Again, that estrogen dominance. And so when you, and I'm postmenopausal also, but I am always cold. And so what I've noticed in working with clients in the last 18 years is that heavy women oftentimes, they go between feeling okay to feeling too warm.
Mm.
However, as they start to lose their weight, oftentimes they will say that their body temperature has changed and they're chilly. So, if you're postmenopausal, my recommendation is put in a ceiling fan or a little side fan in your bedroom. And sometimes you go to bed and you're freezing cold, and then halfway through the night when you have to get up to go to the bathroom, you stick your leg out, and that'll cool you off. But really, it's more, the hot flashes are really more from the excess weight and that estrogen dominance.
Love it. Okay, great. Thank you so much. And while we're kind of on that subject, we have one coming in from Diane, and she asks, how do you maintain a healthy weight when you go through perimenopause, leading into menopause, and still, how do we do that? Still following the guidelines through Optavia? That's her question.
Michael, you want to start with that, and then
Sure.
I'll in? Yeah.
I mean, I love this question. I'm so glad we got it, because it gives us the opportunity to, a little pet peeve of mine, to really talk about what Optavia is. So when we go through menopause, or as we get older, all of us tend to gain weight, but it really is an effect of our lifestyle, and that we tend to get less active. Right? Our age does affect our metabolism a little bit, but for the most part, a lot of it is related to the loss of muscle. We lose a significant amount of muscle even starting after age 30, but especially after age 50. But a lot of it is because nutritionally, we're not nourishing our bodies properly, but especially we're not getting our muscles active enough to maintain that muscle mass, which helps maintain our metabolism, which helps burn all those calories. So here I will tell you that for the most part, yes, menopause can affect weight, but more the distribution of weight, but not really weight gain, or it really doesn't cause weight gain. It's more the lifestyle associated with us getting older. So you're in the right place. Optavia addresses everything that you need to not only lose the weight, but keep the weight off. So here I will tell you, the program is not the 5-in-1. The program is not the 4-in-2. The program is Healthy Habits. Make sure that while you're losing your weight, you're learning how to eat right, sleep right, be active, manage stress, be mindful. All of those things that you read about in the Life book are the things that are going to help you maintain your results for a lifetime.
Yeah, and I would like to add a few things too. So as Michael said, as we go into menopause, our metabolism decreases. And so in order to counteract that, it's a variety of different things. It's not just, the food, but it is our, as he already mentioned, our lifestyle choices. We need to move our bodies every day. We need to hydrate primarily with water. We need to get healthy sleep. So everything happens when we sleep. It's like taking your car in every night and getting a complete overhaul. Our cells, our tissues, our organs, and very, very importantly, our immune systems heal every single night. It's absolutely miraculous. But the other thing that happens, especially women, as we're going through menopause, is we're oftentimes in that time of our lives when we are involved in a busy career. We're oftentimes raising children. We're under stress. There's so many things that happen. And I want to talk about two hormones that are fat storage hormones. So let's say you're on the program and you've lost a significant amount of weight, or maybe you've lost a small amount of weight, but you are, under a lot of stress, and so you start to go back to unhealthy eating habits, the sweets or the white breads, the white rice, those kinds of things. So you're going, when you eat those kinds of foods, especially sweets, your blood sugars go up, insulin follows. Insulin is a hormone to bring your blood sugars down, and insulin is a fat storage hormone. So if you're pumping insulin all day long because of the foods that you're eating, then you're going to be storing fat. It's going to be very, very difficult to maintain your weight and certainly to release fat. But the other hormone that you want to keep at bay is cortisol. So cortisol is the stress hormone. So you're in that time of your life with the busy career and the kids and the husband and the this and the that. And if you're releasing cortisol throughout the day because of that stress, cortisol is a fat storage hormone also. So you really need to keep both of those at bay with proper eating, lifestyle choices, and trying to find a way to reduce your stress. I do meditation, yoga, walking, bicycling, spiritual work, lots of different things. We all have ways to reduce our stress.
I love that. Oh my goodness, so good. So many good ideas. And Michael, when you said that about the muscle, how important muscle is, and as we lose that, as we grow older, we've got our EAAs that help us build that back up, and then movement, working and doing some weight resistance training, helping to build those muscles, because our muscles are kind of the burn center for those calories. And when we don't have muscle mass, we aren't burning calories at the rate we were before. So I totally love that. Okay, we've got a question coming in from Jenny. She says, I found that eating the birthday cake bars brings back my cravings for sugar and sweet things. Other than choosing other options, will I ever get over my sugar cravings? How can I minimize or get rid of those cravings?
Yeah, this is what comes to my mind, is that will you ever get over the sugar cravings? Over time, as your taste buds get used to other types of foods, it tends to get better. But here's where I would say one of your best resources to help you through this is going to be element 16. It is one of my favorite elements in the Life Book. It is about the addictive properties of food and how susceptible you are to those foods. Like, some of us are not that susceptible to the effects. Some of us are. So I would say take that quiz in there. If you are highly susceptible, you want to work towards continuing to minimize foods that trigger you, right? And the fact is that you may, for a lifetime, just be in a place where you need to avoid those foods to a large degree, right? It's not like you can't ever have a birthday cake bar, which are delicious, but that just may not be a food that is serving you. So I would just encourage you that, that joke is, that I told the doctor it hurt when I moved my elbow. Well, don't move your elbow like that. It's kind of the same thing. It's just a food that doesn't serve you. So it just may not be the food for you, but definitely take that quiz and see where you fall in that susceptibility range.
And also I'd like to add that, we all have, addictions that we deal with. We all deal with pain and suffering. It's part of the human experience. And so you have to be careful. If you're a person that has had a lifetime of struggling with weight, then it might be like the smoker. You touch one cigarette and it gets you back to smoking a pack, or like the alcoholic, where you drink a glass of wine or you have a beer and all of a sudden you're back to the unhealthy alcohol. So food can be the same way. And if you're triggered by the donut, then you may not ever be able to eat donuts again. One thing about myself, I struggle with many things, anxiety being my number one. I've never struggled with weight, but I don't eat the donuts, because if I eat one, I may want two, or I may want it every day. So you really have to be mindful be mindful of the things that are healthy. I love the birthday cake bar, but it's too sweet for me. I ordered a box, not going to order them again. So you just have to, kind of customize your life for yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And you do really get to the point where you crave healthier things. I used to be a carbaholic, and I really have gradually changed that whole thing where I'm really more interested in the bright colored veggies, and those are what I really want as opposed to the sugary stuff. I can't do those either, Dee. I get headaches, which is a good thing. I'm happy I get headaches. Oh my goodness. Well, you guys, I can't believe the time is already gone. It is, oh, we've had such a great time. Michael and Delia, thank you so much for your time here tonight with us. We've enjoyed it so much. And remember, we're going to do this every last Monday of the month. So there will be more, and we'll have you guys back. Thank you again so very much. We really love and appreciate you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, before we sign off, everyone, just a heads up, tomorrow, Dr. A's Conscious Leaders Forum is going to be happening, which we love, but it's going to be happening 2 hours earlier. So be sure you jump in then, or I hear that we're going to be rebroadcasting it at the regular time, which would be noon Eastern, 10 o'clock Mountain. That if you want to watch the playback, you can watch it when you're used to watching it too. So that's exciting. We always love to hear from Dr. A. So appreciate him for all that he's done. And we're so excited for next week. A week from tonight, we're going to have part 2 of our personal Olympics Unstuck Part 2. You guys all loved Unstuck Part 1. Come back for the play-by-play on how things are going with the Olympics. And so excited for that. And also be sure you subscribe to our podcast channel. We appreciate anyone who's listening in through podcast. We love that. So go and subscribe, and be sure you come back next week for another episode of Let's Talk. Thanks for being here tonight. Good night, everyone.
Good night.